friends just made a podcast. Two good friends just made a podcast. Two friends just made a podcast. It's called Culture Bucket. Two friends just made a podcast. Two good friends just made a podcast. Two friends just made a podcast. Culture Bucket, Georgia and Alex.
Hello everyone. Hi. Welcome here. It's a pleasure to see you with us. Or not see you, but have you sort of figuratively in our presence for the 66th episode of the greatest podcast in the universe, Culture Bucket, where today our Oscar madness is continuing, and we will be giving you our predictions, our hot, trustworthy, valid, probably very accurate predictions for the Oscars, and we can see who's better at predicting arbitrary awards, me, George, or my co-host, Alex. Hi, Alex.
Hi, George. Hi, everyone. How are you doing today, George?
Hi. Yeah, pretty great today, thank you. The sun is shining. The spring equinox is here. Today is the spring equinox. It's officially the start of spring. Wow. And as is tradition, it's heralded the release of a new Weezer EP. So that's exciting.
Really?
Yeah, this year Weezer are releasing an EP on the start of every month. So they've just put out spring today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
of every month
tracks.
Or every season?
Every season.
Yeah, okay. Because
that's
that's pretty crazy. Like every month you're going to release an EP.
No, every 3 months is pretty crazy too, though. Like,
we're
gonna have, by the end of the year, we're going to have like 80 minutes of, because I think this is about 20 minutes long, 7 songs. I've listened to it a couple of times. It's pretty breezy and sort of light and fluffy like spring is. It's pretty good.
Good.
Yeah. I recommend people go out and check Seasons Spring, the newest release from Weezer. The opening track interpolates the spring section of Vivaldi's Four Seasons Concerto, and has Rivers Cuomo singing about how much he likes Shakespeare and things. It's very weird, but it's pretty fun.
Okay.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Vivaldi and Shakespeare, like so intertwined together.
Yeah, in the world of Weezer. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So how are you today?
I'm good. Yes. I'm happy because I forgot. I didn't realize that today was the first day of spring. So pretty excited that the warm weather is going to arrive.
Good.
Are we talking about best picture winner or all the categories?
All the categories. I've got a whole spreadsheet that I'm going to share with you in a bit that we're going to fill in together.
Oh shit. Okay. I haven't been able to watch all the films though.
Nobody has. Not even the people who choose the awards watch all the films. Sometimes you just have to look at which one has the best name and then go with that.
Okay.
Genuinely, like every year, I think it's Variety or Inside Hollywood or one of the kind of like Hollywood newspapers does like an anonymous interview with 3 or 4 Oscar voters, and you get to see that the people that vote on the actual Oscars are terrible people and largely often haven't even seen the movies they're voting on. So
who actually votes for the Oscars? Who are these people? Are they like actors, directors, humans from the streets?
Yes, it's like members of the, I mean, I'm not an expert on it, but my understanding is it's members of the Academy of Motion Pictures or something. And that's made up of like, representatives from the film industry, from like, you've got the actors section, the directors section, the cinematographer section, the editors section, various. I think if you work in the industry of Hollywood and become notable enough to any degree, you'll be invited to join and get to vote on it. So
interesting.
But also, I'm not an expert, so I could be wrong. There was a thing recently where, anyway, it doesn't matter. Shall we move on? Shall we do culture catch-up? Shall we talk about what we've been watching?
Yeah.
This is culture catch-up time. This is where we talk about what we've watched, what we've read, what we've listened to, and probably some other stuff.
It's been 2 weeks since we last recorded together, so I have an unusually bumper crop of films to talk about. I've got 5 2022 releases that I've watched since we last spoke.
Oh.
Yeah, but
yeah,
I'll make it a fairly brief. at least for a couple of them.
Brief it up, Buttercup.
Yeah, but first up, I went to see a film called Red Rocket. Have you heard of Red Rocket?
No.
It's a 2021 movie, technically, but it came out in the UK in 2022. Comedy drama film directed by Sean Baker, who previously has made The Florida Project and Tangerine. I don't know if you've seen either of those movies.
No.
Interesting. I think you'd like his films. I think I've not seen The Florida Project or Tangerine, but I have now seen Red Rocket, and from reading about him, my understanding of him is he makes movies following characters who work in the sex industry in America, but views it, makes a conscious effort to view them non-judgmentally. So apparently The Florida Project's brilliant, but I haven't seen it. But I have seen Red Rocket, so let's talk about it briefly. It follows follows a adult film star, a pornography star, played by Simon Rex, who I believe used to be like an MTV host or VJ years ago, and isn't particularly much of an actor, but he's very, very good at this movie. He plays Mikey Saber, a down-on-his-luck adult entertainer who returns to his hometown of Texas, and in the opening minutes of the movie very quickly worms his way back into sleeping on the couch of his ex-wife, though still technically legally wife, and her mother, who both live in a sort of a home on the outskirts of this small community in rural Texas. And the film basically follows his attempts to find a path back to success, and that ultimately is through what he sees as his meal ticket back to Hollywood in the eyes of a young 17-year-old who works in a donut shop that he thinks could be the next big thing in his world, and he attempts to sort of bring her into that. So a pretty kind of morally bankrupt in a lot of ways character who it's pretty difficult to love, and throughout the course of the movie he does a lot of things that makes it incredibly difficult to like him. And I don't think necessarily you're meant to like him, but what I like about the movie and what seems to be Sean Baker's calling card is that it just presents this character as he is. And he's not a real person, but like I suppose there are people like this in the world, and he's just sort of doing his thing, and he's described at one point as a suitcase pimp, which is apparently a real term to refer to a male actor in the porn industry who kind of makes a living off of more successful female actresses, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So that's his attempts to get this Strawberry, the girl who works in a donut shop, to go along with his idea to go and make it big in Hollywood. It's interesting. It starts off really funny, and he's very full of himself, full of ego, is determined to impress everyone in this small town, and all of the supporting cast are kind of made up of like non-actors and actresses. Like one of the best characters in the movie is played by, I think the actress is Brittany Rodriguez. Is like the daughter of this local drug lord that he starts working for, and the director just saw this woman walking along the road, walking her dog near the set of the film, and he thought, she is perfect, she looks exactly what I want, and he went and asked her, and she's now in his movie, which is crazy. It's really good. I recommend people watch it. I really enjoyed Red Rocket. I think people were expecting it to get it's had quite a lot of award recognition, and I think people were expecting to see it get nominated for a few Oscars, but as we'll learn later on, it didn't get nominated for any Oscars, but it certainly would have been it certainly would have deserved it some. So yeah, Red Rocket, I'd recommend people watch it. It's funny, it's morally interesting, and it's like a knotty, complex, strange little movie, and I really liked it. Next up, I watched, and you might have watched this as well. I don't know. We can talk about it if you have. The newest movie from Pixar, Turning Red.
Yeah, I have watched it.
Oh, you have watched it. So let's have a talk about it.
Definitely.
It's a period movie. set in 2002 in Toronto, Ontario. We watched the trailer together a few weeks ago, and it follows Mei Li, a 13-year-old Chinese Canadian who one day discovers that when she feels a strong emotion, she turns into a giant red panda, and quickly discovers that this is something that happens to all of the girls in her family. And she sets about having to it can be cured on the night of the red moon, and the next red moon is about 6 weeks away. So the plot of the movie is her trying to avoid as much as possible turning into the panda while she's waiting for this ceremony to happen, because she's told every time she does turn into the panda, it becomes more and more difficult to perform the ceremony. So that's the movie. What did you think of it?
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really sweet. I think it's the first Pixar Disney film that actually addresses the issue of growing up as a girl and the struggles of changing. And I think it was really clever because it tackles it in a really sweet way, and how you then start, because she's really attached to her mum, but then because of this red panda, she starts detaching herself from her mum, and it could be considered a problem, but also maybe she's becoming her own person. So I thought it was really positive, and I think for young girls now, I think it's a really good film to watch. And again, there's not really a villain like Encanto. Like maybe you can consider the mum the villain, but I think she just wants what is best for her.
Similar to the Abuela in Encanto, I suppose. They're actually sort of similar characters.
Yeah. It's beautiful to watch. It's really fun to watch, and I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was funny, and I love May, and I think she's real fun, and I like the fact you become a red panda. That'd be nicer than periods. Turning as a red panda. That'd be lovely. What did you think?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. I guess, like you said, I think it's not the first Disney Pixar movie to tackle growing up, but it's probably the first Disney Pixar movie to show, to specifically show a character being handed tampons during what is assumed to be her first period.
I was like, what? That's amazing.
No, for like representation and like having those discussions out in the open and stuff, I think it's really positive. And May's a really good character, and I really like the other three girls who form her sort of friendship group, in particular the one that's always got, who's a bit like Rosa from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. She's always just got a very like stern expression on her face and never changes her expression. She really made me laugh. I think I like it. On Letterboxd I gave it 4 stars, so I did really like it, but I found a couple of things tricky with it. I found the mum character almost unbearable to put up with whenever she was on screen or involved in the story, because it felt very like, we all know that. I think ultimately the only issue I have with the movie is that you can tell almost immediately where it's going to go and what the beats of the story are going to be. It doesn't do anything particularly surprising or shocking once that initial kind of reveal is made, and I found it maybe just slightly tired of it by the end. I'd have liked like one extra twist on it, if that makes sense, to kind of keep me thinking. But other than that, like as a coming of age film, it's a perfectly good one. But when there are movies out in the world like Booksmart and Lady Bird and 8th Grade and stuff, it doesn't quite reach the heights of some of those for me. But I liked it, and you know, well done Pixar.
Definitely, yeah. And I really like the songs. They're really fun. They're really good.
Yeah, they were good. They were good fun. And the like the setting, like I think 2002 Canada is so, because it doesn't necessarily feel like a period setting, but it is, and I think they do that really well as well. So and also it's free. It's absolutely free. You can watch it on Disney Plus for free. So go and watch it.
Exactly.
Once you've paid for your Disney Plus subscription, obviously. But yeah, good. Up next, I watched the latest film.
You're right. I know what you watched.
Do you? Go on.
I think you watched the new Ryan Reynolds film.
Did.
What's it called?
The Adam Project.
The Adam Project.
Directed by Sean Levy, who directed Free Guy last year, which was rubbish.
Terrible.
And has now been announced is going to direct Deadpool 3 whenever that comes out.
Oh, no.
So that will be rubbish. And The Adam Project is a science fiction action movie. It stars Ryan Reynolds, along with Walker Scobell, Mark Ruffalo, Jennifer Garner, Catherine Keener, and Zoe Saldana, all pretty fantastic actors, and Ryan Reynolds. And
Poor Ryan.
Yeah, he's fine. He's got a lot of money. He's so the movie opens with him in a sort of futuristic fighter jet above the Earth, being chased by someone. We're not really given much explanation of what's going on, but he's about to die, but manages to open a portal wormhole thing and fly his spaceship through it. We are then taken back in time from 2050, which is where the opening is set, to 2022, where a 12-year-old Adam is bullying his mother, played by Jennifer Garner. Very much in the style of Ryan Reynolds, because this boy was cast as the young Ryan Reynolds on the basis, apparently, that he memorised the entirety of Deadpool 2 when he was 11 years old. And I've seen a video of him online reciting it. And he does a very good job at impersonating the specific way that Ryan Reynolds delivers the specific jokes that Ryan Reynolds tends to tell. And I don't know what I'd do if I had a son who was a small Ryan Reynolds, but I would probably be sad every day at the way my child's treated me. Pretty quickly we discover that Adam's father died the year before, played by Mark Ruffalo in the movie. And Jennifer Garner is still dealing emotionally with the loss of her husband and having to now raise Adam on her own. And is attempting to re-enter life by dating and things, but is scuppered in her attempts by Adam's insistence on bullying her boyfriend when he turns up in the movie as well. Eventually, he's left home alone because why would you bother staying with him? And he discovers in the garage fully grown Adam, Ryan Reynolds, who has travelled back in time to his childhood home to try and stop a bad thing from happening in the future. A bad thing is going to happen in the future. It's never explained much further than that, what it is or why it is. And he was meant to go back to 2018 to talk to his dad, because his dad invented time travel and then died. And only his dad can stop the bad thing from happening, because the bad thing is being done by Catherine Keener, who is his dad's business partner. So then we have about an hour of the movie where he's in. There's an hour of the movie where he's in 2022 with his young version of himself, trying to help him overcome bullies, and that's one movie. And then at a certain point they're like, right, well, that's enough of that. Let's go back to 2018 and meet Mark Ruffalo and try and actually stop the bad thing from happening in the future. So they go back to 2018, and a different movie happens where Ryan Reynolds and Mark Ruffalo team up and attempt to stop Catherine Keener's bad person from...
Was it bad?
It was awful, and I've seen it. It's gotten good reviews from various places. IGN.com gave it 9 out of 10. Shut up. And various other places gave it good reviews. It's just tired. It's the same performance from Ryan Reynolds that he does in every single film now, and I'm so bored of it. And they want it so desperately to be like a Guardians of the Galaxy fun sci-fi romp. So they've cast Zoe Saldana in it, who obviously plays Gamora.
Yeah.
In Guardians of the Galaxy, they've cast Mark Ruffalo in it, who's the Hulk from Marvel. Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool, obviously. Like it wants to be a superhero style. It wants to have the Marvel vibe to it, but it doesn't, because all the jokes are tired. The action is sort of mediocre, pedestrian at best, nothing particularly interesting. There's been a lot of talk about how he's got a lightsaber in it, but it's not a lightsaber, and it's not cool. I hated it. Oh, and it's got again, because they're so desperate for it to be like Guardians of the Galaxy, it's got this like classic rock soundtrack where action scenes will play out soundtracked by classic rock songs, but they're not diegetic in any way like they are in Guardians of the Galaxy. They don't exist within the world. There's no reason for, like, none of the characters are even into classic rock. We're not even told that any of the characters are into classic rock. They just play these songs over the action scenes because that's the level of like creative bankruptcy that Sean Levy works in. Terrible. Didn't like it at all. Thought it was rubbish. Loads of people love it. It's obviously probably made Netflix loads of money. And Ryan Reynolds is, again, a massively successful actor. So, good work. Well done. Well,
not bitter at all.
Good for him. No, not bitter at all. It's fine. Then I went to see a movie that I've been pretty excited about. I think we watched a trailer together for it a few weeks ago. The new Ty West horror film, X.
Yeah. We have watched the trailer.
Yeah, buddy. This one stars Mia Goth, Jenna Ortega, Martin Henderson, Brittany Snow, Owen Campbell, Stephen Yeun, Scott Mescudi. Scott Mescudi, of course, being Kid Cudi. Brittany Snow being one of the stars of Pitch Perfect. Jenna Ortega being one of the stars of Studio 666 and the recent Scream movie. A good cast in this film. It follows a group of filmmakers, again, following a theme this week. They are making adult movies, and they are made up of... We've got Mia Goth as Maxine Minx, Brittany Snow's Bobby Lynn, and Kid Cudi is Jackson Hole. They are the sort of actors that are going to be in the movie. Jenna Ortega is Lorraine, the sound engineer, and Martin Henderson is playing Wayne Gilroy, the producer, the money man, and the boyfriend to Mia Goth's character. And then we've got Owen Campbell playing RJ, the director, who has aspirations to make a genuinely good adult film, as opposed to what he considers to be the norm. So they've kind of all driven together across rural Texas to this farm where Wayne, the producer, has organised for them to have use of a house on the farmstead where they can shoot their movie. They get there and the farm is owned by two very old people.
Not good.
Howard, played by Stephen Yeun, and his elderly wife Pearl, played in a dual role by Mia Goth in layers and layers of makeup, which I had no idea about until the end of the movie. And of course, basically they get there, it's pretty obvious pretty quickly to the rest of the crew that Wayne has not told these people what their farm is going to be used for. So they start surreptitiously going about making their movie while seeing in the background the two old people kind of sinisterly wander around and appear in windows, etc. And the film all takes place over the course of like 24 hours, so it all escalates fairly quickly from there and turns into a fairly large bloodbath. But within that bloodbath is quite a lot of commentary and discussion on the nature of like the adult film industry and on the psychology of the people involved in it and the actors and the producers and how they believe about it, and kind of an honest and open discussion about a lot of those issues, which is quite a lot more than you expect from a standard slasher movie, and kind of makes it all pass by in a much breezier way than maybe an ordinary slasher does, because it feels like it's actually saying something and has something to say, rather than just being there for the blood and the gore, which when it does hit is pretty grody and good.
I can imagine. Like just the trailer was pretty gross.
Yeah, well, yeah. So you get quite a lot of heads being exploded and necks being opened up and etc. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. I gave it 4 stars, and I think if I was to watch it again in the future, I might end up kind of putting that rating up a little bit, because I did really enjoy it. And excitingly, Mia Goth and Ty West, while they were filming this, wrote a prequel together for the character of Pearl that Mia Goth plays in makeup in this. So later this year, I think it's already been filmed, there's going to be a film called Pearl, which tells the story of a young Pearl and how she came to live on this farm and be... Because there's one moment in particular where you see something on this farm that's really disturbing and unpleasant, and the movie doesn't approach it again or explain it away, so I'm assuming that the prequel will be like, showing how this came to happen. And then there's going to be a third one. It's going to be a trilogy, apparently. The third one is going to be set after the events of X, and tell another story within the world of these films, which I'm all for. I'm all excited about it. I really love Ty West. If you've never seen any of his other movies, people listening, not Alex, because I don't think you watch it, but House of the Devil, The Innkeepers, and The Sacrament, I think it's called, are all really, really good films. And this kind of stands alongside them as like a really solid filmography for Ty West. So well done him. Loved it. Big fan of it. And then finally, I watched another film that we've watched a trailer for together, but I think you probably haven't watched, Fresh.
Ah, yeah. Well, I haven't watched it.
Sebastian Stan, Daisy Edgar Jones. Daisy Edgar Jones is Noah, a young woman who is bored of online dating and having kind of unfulfilling interactions with arseholes, and one day meets Steve, played by Sebastian Stan, in the vegetable aisle of a supermarket, and they quickly hit up a connection and start a relationship together. And he invites her away on a weekend away, and they get there, she has a drink, she collapses because the drink is drugged, and then from there the film plays out in various disturbing ways. It's interesting, this movie. Before it came out, we watched the trailer, and I also saw lots of people being like, oh, Fresh is incredible, it's amazing, it goes to places you wouldn't expect it to, and make sure you watch it with knowing as little as possible. And I always kind of feel a bit, when people say that about movies, I'm like, oh, well, now I know broadly what to expect, because I know to expect an unexpected thing in it, which is so. And because it's called Fresh, and because the poster for it is a hand in like meat packaging, I kind of knew what was going to happen and was expecting some other twist, because of how people have been saying, good, you got to. It sort of is what you expect it to be. There's a couple of cool moments in it. Sebastian Stan is very good in it. He's an actor I normally like. I can kind of give or take Sebastian Stan most of the time. Like in the Marvel movies, The Winter Soldier is pretty forgettable in my opinion, but he's pretty great here. Daisy Edgar Jones, who I don't think I've seen anything else, is really, really good as Noah. And it's a fun psychological thriller, but it seems to have had a reaction painting it as something more than that, and I don't quite know where those people are seeing it, other than it has a very late title card, which is a very good bit of creative chance taking, and there's a couple of other, like, the direction is very good, and Mimi Cave, who I don't know if it's her first film, has taken a few chances that pay off and do make it a little bit more interesting than the standard film. But based on the fact it's called Fresh, based on the fact that the poster is a hand in meat packing, meat container, you can kind of take it from there what's going to happen in the rest of the movie, and it kind of does play out the way you'd expect. But it was fun. I gave it 3 stars, and, it's worth a watch. Even, I think, Alex, you could probably watch it. Probably.
Yeah,
it's not that
I guess
much.
I guess like for somebody like me, it might be a little bit more exciting than somebody like you, since you watch, horrible, gross stuff all the time.
Yeah, maybe. It's not that violent, and it's a fun psychological thriller. I think maybe I think you'd be able to watch it. But there'd be a couple of bits where you'd have to like hold a pillow up in front of your face. But beyond that,
I do that in most films anyway, because
exactly.
Between slashing and secondhand embarrassment, I'm not very good.
And that's me for Culture Catch Up this week. Other than I've been listening to the new album from Ghost a lot, a band I've talked about liking before. They're one of my top 5 bands. They're the Swedish metal satanic priests. They've just put out their 5th album, Impera, prequel. The last album they put out was set in the Middle Ages and inspired by the Black Plague. This album is set in sort of the early 1900s and is inspired by the fall of an empire. And it's pretty great, pretty good. So I'd recommend people go out and listen to Impera by Ghost as well. There's a Darkness at the Heart of My Love is an all-time classic power ballad from this album. So and that is now me done with Culture Catch Up.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Fantastico.
Very
good, very good. Cool. So it's my turn. So to prepare for today's episode, I watched I've started watching films that are in the best 2022 picture in the Oscars.
Mm-hmm.
So I started with West Side Story. I watched West Side Story.
Oh, what did you think?
So I really didn't like the songs. I think it's just a kind of like musical genre that I don't enjoy. I find it really weird that they would just like fight and then they start like singing and doing these jazz hands, and I feel like this film without the music and the dancing would have been decent, because the story is quite powerful, and
Do you mean Romeo and Juliet is a classic story?
but no, but also like because you like the Puerto Ricans and they have arrived there in this area, and the Irish think, oh, but this is our area, but they're also kind of like immigrants, so it's like immigrants fighting against the newest immigrant, and it's quite current, and it's a love story. So I think without the music I would have liked it more. I think it's a good story, but what I love about this film is Rachel Zegler.
Oh, yeah.
She plays Maria,
Yep.
and I'm in love with her. She's a great singer. She's a great actor. Like Ansel Elgort, in all the scenes without her, he just had this weird face. But with her, she made him act well.
Yeah, yeah.
Like she brought something out in him that I thought it was great. So apart from all the dancing, and I thought this is a good story, but it's so dated as well. Oh, it just like, I don't know, it's
Dated in what way though? Because it's a remake and it's set in a different
it's
time.
a remake, but it would have been nice if maybe it just doesn't fit with the times that we're living now. I feel like that's been done. Those kind of musicals are done. Let's not bring them to this century and leave them where they used to be. But this is my opinion, and I think if he had made West Side Story not the musical, I think it would have been much better. But it was okay. Me and musicals. I'm not very good at them. When it's like, oh, we're going to fight, and then we're gonna like do some and dance, and do some like, it was weird. Like, yeah, it was really weird. But I hope we can see Rachel Zegler more because she is amazing. And then after West Side Story, I watched The Power of the Dog.
Okay, what did you think of that?
Film starring Benedict Cumberbatch, Kirsten Dunst, Jesse Plemons, Cody Smith McPhee, directed by Jane Campion. I'm in awe of that film, of The Power of the Dog. It's incredible. It's so good. And what you told me when you spoke about it a few weeks ago, and you said, there's a lot that happens outside of the film. And I really appreciate that. The fact that she was so brave to leave a lot of the plot for the outside, away from the cameras.
Yeah.
I think it's a really incredible way to make a film. And it was so good. It's so good. I really, really enjoyed it, and I think I'm going to watch it again because I think I missed a couple of bits, and I love the scenery, the quietness, the fact that not everything is on screen. It's an incredible film. Benedict Cumberbatch is amazing in this film. And I think who stole the show was Cody Smith McPhee. Really, really good actor. I really enjoyed
an interesting character.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed how this character evolved, and I think this is a really good film, and Jane Campion, it was amazing. I'm making it, and there's so much that is not in the film, but you can also imagine what's happening. The Power of the Dog is really, really, really good. For some reason, when you explained it to me, I thought it was going to be a little bit more like thrillerish, but it's actually quite is a bit more psychotic. I don't know. It's really
It's like a drama with a thriller happening in the background that's your attention isn't being drawn to.
Yeah. But then you can see the consequences. And no, I really enjoyed it. I didn't think I was gonna like it so much, and I didn't think I was gonna be so, I don't know, in awe of it. Like, I think it's like a really, really incredible, masterful film. It's really good. And then I watched King Richard.
Oh wow!
With Will Smith, and it's a story about how Serena and Venus Williams became who they were. Will Smith, amazing in it, really, really good. Really good film. I really, really enjoyed it. It's a very interesting way to do a biopic. It felt real. Like, sometimes with biopics, you're not really sure what's real and what is not, but it just felt genuinely real. And and it was different from other biopics. And the fact that also Serena and Venus Williams really, like, kind of, that they approve of it, it's like gives it even more. And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. And the actresses that play Serena and Venus Williams are really, really good. I thought they actually kind of portrayed them really well. So I really enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it. It's funny. It's there's not like the drama that maybe there was. They kind of keep outside the screen, like personal things between Richard Williams and his wife. They kind of concentrated on him pushing them until they became tennis players, and I thought it was great. And I'm glad that finally Will Smith is doing something, has done a film that actually shows what a good actor he is, because he is amazing in it. He is really good.
I think it's the best he's ever been, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. King Richard, really, really enjoyed it. And then I watched Belfast, a film directed by Kenneth Branagh with Jamie Dornan, Catriona Balfe, the show stealer Jude Hill as Buddy. He is amazing, like the little kid. And I enjoyed it, but I wanted more. I don't know how to explain. Like, I thought it was really nice. It was a very different portrayal of Belfast at the time. Like, when you usually see a film of the conflict, you see a lot of more conflict, and I enjoyed the fact that he decided to kind of show it just in the eyes of the kid, and kind of, like normality, and him going to school, passing the barricades. But I wanted some more, maybe another 20 minutes, a little bit more. I just needed a little bit more. But I really enjoyed it. It was good, but it was a very quick film. It goes dun 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 dun, then it's finished, and then they leave.
Yeah.
But I think Jude Hill, that plays Buddy, he was so good, and it was just, I really, really enjoyed that. And then after that, I watched Licorice Pizza.
Wow, you've really gone through it.
Oh, yeah. I really had to, because I wanted to be ready for today, especially for Best Picture.
Okay.
I watched Licorice Pizza, and differently from Belfast, I needed a little bit less. I needed about 20 minutes less. So this stars Alana Haim, Cooper Hoffman, and then I forgot that there was Bradley Cooper. When it turns up, you're like, what? Sean Penn, all the Haim sisters, the Haim parents.
Tom Waits is in there.
Like everybody appears, and like you said, said, is like a hangout film, and there's a lot of stuff happening, but not much happening, and there's a lot of running. If you could do like a drinking game of like how many times are Helena Haim and Cooper Hoffman gonna run, you're gonna be pretty drunk by the end of the film. I liked it, but it could have been shorter. It was just a little bit too long for me. But Alana Haim, she is so good in this.
Oh, yeah, she is.
I don't know. I just thought she was amazing in it. She carried the film. If there would, I think if there had been a different actor, there wouldn't have been that kind of like. She has a really amazing aura of her. Like she's like really. Her face is really expressive, and how she acts is really amazing, and she acts sometimes a little bit silly. I don't know. I thought she is amazing. By the end, I really, really couldn't stand anymore Cooper Hoffman. I don't know if it was a thing. Gary Valentine. I wanted to kill him. I was like, stop.
Oh, the character.
The character. Yeah. But no, I thought it was good. It was a fun time. The only problem is, in the back of my head, I was thinking she's 25 and he's 15, and I was like, oh, that's gross. That's really bad. I just felt like a 25-year-old going out with a 15-year-old. Oh, I couldn't put it aside. So I was like, I hope they never get together. And I don't know. I think if he had been 17 and her 25.
But by the end of the movie, I think he is 17, because I think the movie takes place over quite a long span of time.
Does it?
Yeah. Because a lot happens. Okay. Like he starts multiple businesses, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah. I think it is meant to be that he is like 16, 17 by the end of the film.
Yeah. Okay, I hope so. And I love the fact that the Haim family was there. I thought the father was hilarious.
Yeah, he is funny, isn't he, in his couple of little bits.
And then I watched a film that I'm not sure if you've seen, a film called Coda.
No, I haven't seen Coda.
So Coda stands for Child of Deaf Adults. And it's a story about Ruby, who's the only hearing member of our deaf family in Gloucester, Massachusetts. And she works with her father, who is deaf, and her brother, who's also deaf, on a fishing boat before going to school. And she helps the family's business to keep running because all of her family is deaf. After fishing all morning, she goes to school, and she joins the choir, and she realizes that she loves singing, but also she is excellent at singing. And so she kind of this love for singing kind of starts maybe separating her a little bit from her family, who relies on her a lot, and she has to make a tough decision. Mm-hmm. And it stars Emilia Jones as Ruby Rossi, Troy Kotzer as her dad, Marley Matlin as Jackie Rossi, her mum, and her brother is Daniel Durant, and they Troy Kotzer, Marley Matlin, and Daniel Durant are deaf. Mm-hmm. And yeah, the film does not teach you anything different. The film goes in kind of like probably a predictable kind of way, but the fact that there are like there's this, the parents and the brother are deaf, and there's a lot of like sign language, and and it shows like the difficulties of being like deaf, and how you deal with like your job, and who do you rely on, who has got the patience for you. And I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it is a great film, and I thought it was acted beautifully. And there's a lot of love behind this film, and you can see it. You see it. You can sense it, and I thought it was really good, really beautiful, really sweet. I cried, of course, because I cry all the time, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. And then I watched a trailer for Nightmare Alley, and I was like, I can't do that, so I didn't
No,
watch it. So I watched. So now, out of the films, how many films are up for the Oscars? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Out of the 8 films nominated for the Oscars, I watched 7 of them.
I've watched 8 of them.
No, you haven't, because you haven't seen Coda.
Yeah, I've seen all the others except for Drive My Car.
So you've seen 7.
I've seen 8 of them.
Well,
I've seen
so
Belfast.
then I've seen 8. So I've
seen
8.
Belfast,
How many?
Don't Look Up, Dune.
Sorry,
King Richard.
I forgot about Don't Look Up. So I watched them all bar Nightmare Alley. Sorry. How many films are nominated for the Oscars?
10.
Sorry. So I watched all of them, but not Nightmare Alley.
Okay.
Yeah, I would. I don't know. I just thought I'm gonna watch them, and they've come out in streaming services now. Most of these, so no, I thought I'll be prepared for today, and I was very sick, so I spent a lot of time in bed this week watching films.
Well done. No, that's cool. I'm glad.
Yeah. Cool. And that's my culture catch. No, I started listening to Jurassic 5, which are incredible. You know Jurassic 5?
I know of them. The hip hop group?
Yeah, they're a hip hop group from from like the 90s/2000s, and they just popped up on I was listening to something and they just popped up, and I really started enjoying listening to Jurassic 5. I really like old school hip hop, so yeah, that was
nice, good.
Thank you. Yeah, so yeah, that's my culture catch up. Hopefully I'm ready today for my predictions.
I'm sure you are.
Good.
Fantastic, good stuff. Before we get to predictions, I've got one piece of MyTube for us. Good stuff. You might have watched this already. You can tell me when I send it to you if you have or not.
So George has just sent me Marvel Studios Ms. Marvel official. Oh, official
okay?
Trailer. No, clearly I am not okay. Yeah.
Pretty exciting. I think Miss Marvel is one of my favourite, if not my favourite, Marvel Comics characters. So I'm excited to see her get a live action show. So this is the trailer for it. Shall we watch it?
Wasn't your favourite character that from that comic Marry Me? You know, the blonde one?
No. That's not a Marvel comic either, so it wouldn't count, even if I did like it, which I didn't like it, to be clear.
Marry me. Sorry. Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, they have the
Okay, so first off,
the weekend music.
I get
Yeah.
You get what?
high school.
Oh, I like it. It's like a wow.
Shirt. Cute.
So they have put it in like comic boxes. What they're called in?
Well, yeah. I mean, the character in the comics is a huge fan of the Avengers and stuff. Like the whole,
Yeah.
she's like a fangirl herself. So I guess
Yeah.
she's obviously obsessed with comics. So they're kind of bringing that into the show with comic panels and stuff. It looks like a cool visual style. But I wonder if it's just in the trailer or if it's actually going to be in the show.
I spend too much time
Oh, and she's Muslim.
in Fantasyland.
I like that.
That is not you.
Is she actually Muslim in the comics or?
Yeah. No, I think she's the first sort of female
Amazing.
Muslim superhero in the comic books and stuff.
That's good.
That's a fantasy.
There does need a little bit of representation.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Did something happen to you?
Oh,
Did you hear something?
amazing. Oh, it looks good.
Looks fun, right?
Oh, yeah, I think it gives me a little bit of Hawkeye vibes, like
Yes.
coming of age superhero.
Do you know what you are?
Oh, I like it.
I'm a superhero.
Ah, she's a superhero, Kamala. Oh, I'm excited. When is it? 8th of June.
Yeah.
Excellent. I think it's going to be good.
It looks good, right? So we've got like
Yeah.
coming up at the end of this month, we've got Moon Knight, which is like quite dark and grim and gritty,
Yeah.
and I like all of that stuff. But then this looks like another kind of Hawkeye style thing, like you said.
Yeah.
That's a bit more fun and laid back and free. And like you said, I think it's just nice for representation generally to have like a Muslim superhero, young girl,
amazing.
Muslim superhero, high schooler, fan of the comics. Like the fact that she's a fan of superheroes and that that kind of brings her character in and stuff is cool.
I'm excited. Yeah, 8th of June.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's
And then
only around the corner.
Exactly. And then the Captain Marvel sequel is called The Marvels and is going to have, Miss Marvel's going to be in that. So, she's going to get onto the big screen and all for the better, I think. I love that character. They've changed her powers, though. That's the only thing I'm not sure about. Her powers are different in this than they are in the comic books. In the comics, she has what she describes as embiggening powers, where she's a bit like Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four. She can sort of stretch parts of her body, make her fists really big, etc.
Okay.
And it looks like she's still sort of doing that, but this time it's powered by some sort of cosmic band, and it's like, laser light show versions of her body parts getting bigger rather than actually her body sort of stretching and changing shape. People think that they've done that because they're waiting to do that with Mr. Fantastic rather than have her do it first, but slightly disappointed because I don't know. I think it's an unnecessary change, but other than that, the things I like about that character aren't necessarily just her powers, so I'm excited. I'm pumped.
Yeah, me too. It looks good. Ms. Marvel.
Yeah. Okay. Shall we get started on
Yay.
Right. So what I'm going to do is I've prepared. You're going to be very impressed. I've prepared a spreadsheet. So I'm going to send you a link to a Google sheet. So if you open up this.
Wow, you're super prepared.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. No, you are crazy. So George has prepared this incredible spreadsheet with like all the categories, and then there's kind of a drop-down menu where you can choose. George, this is good.
Thanks.
Well done, George. You're so good.
Thank you. Try my best. I'm still trying to work out how I can use conditional formatting to count or use count if. I'm trying to work out how I can count up our scores automatically once I put the winners in, but I'll see if I can, I'll be able to very easily just do that manually, so it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Right, I figured we should start at the bottom and work our way
Yes.
up to the big one.
Okay.
This was the order of the awards on, I think, the official site. When I was I think I went through the official site to get these. So this is kind of the way they've structured it. Although some of these awards, it's very controversial. Some of these awards are not being broadcast live on the night and are going to be given out off camera.
Why?
Well, because they want more time in the live show for like musical numbers and jokes and
Okay.
people are pretty annoyed about it, which I can understand, rightfully so. And I think it's stuff like visual effects and sound and editing and things that are getting sort of taken off screen, which is, I can see why people don't like that.
I just don't understand though. Like, you have an award show, yeah? Why make it as a cinema? Why not make it as tables and you can drink and eat and people can like enjoy themselves? Just feels so contrived.
I think because it's such a big thing, they just want a venue that can fit the most famous people in. Whereas if you've got tables, you're spreading people out more, aren't you?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be so nice if you could just like go to an award show and like have like a few glasses of champagne and
the
wine,
BAFTAs does
beer.
tables, right?
BAFTAs, not now. No, I don't remember. There is one that does tables and stuff, but I'm not sure which one that
Golden
is.
Globes, maybe.
Maybe Golden Globe, but they don't exist anymore, do they? They haven't been around for a while. Golden
Or
Globe.
they've stopped doing it as a show or something because it's a load of nonsense.
Okay.
Right then, Alex, what's the first nomination? What's the first category for us to choose?
Writing original screenplay. So the categories are Belfast, Don't Look Up, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, and The Worst Person in the World, which I haven't seen.
The only one I've not seen, actually, The Worst Person in the World. Quick synopsis for that. A 20-something woman battles indecisiveness as she traverses the troubled waters of her love life and struggles to find her career path. It looks really good, The Worst Person in the World. It's meant to be a really, really good film. I want to watch it.
If we haven't seen it, then... But we can choose anyway, can we?
I mean, there's going to be a lot of things we haven't seen on these lists.
For what I think Licorice Pizza is going to win.
Yeah, I'm the same. I feel the same way. I think Licorice Pizza's. I think, for everything that's good about that movie, a lot of it comes in the writing and, making a hangout movie work. It comes down to how kind of welcoming almost the writing is, bringing you into the world and stuff like that. And he's kind of delved into Hollywood lore and mythology and pulled together a story that combines kind of a lot of real world inspirations. And he's done it in a way that I think works really well. So I agree, Licorice Pizza. What's up next?
Next one is writing adapted screenplay. So there is Coda, Drive My Car, Dune, The Lost Daughter, The Power of the Dog.
I think it's going to be hard to beat The Power of the Dog on this one.
I think it's going to be Coda.
Really? Why?
Yeah. This is more a political move because I don't think Coda is going to win Best Picture and Best Thing. So I think as something they're going to give it to, because I think Drive My Car is going to be up there with like, other things, and June definitely not. I have a feeling that The Lost Daughter I haven't seen, but I would love to see, and I think The Power of the Dog is more up to winning Best Film.
Interesting. I think The Power of the Dog might be on for a bit of a sweep to win a few categories,
Okay.
and I think that part of what's so good about it is, and I haven't read the original book, but I'm assuming from the way the movie is that she's picked and chosen which elements of the book to put on screen and which elements to kind of leave unspoken.
Yeah.
And there's so much going on outside the screen in that film, I think is, to have adapted it from a book, she's done a really good job. So I am going to go with The Power of the Dog.
Okay.
First Divergence. Who will be right, who will be wrong?
Divergence, yes.
What's next is... visual effects. What are the nominees, Alex?
The nominees are Dune, Free Guy, No Time to Die, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Spider-Man, No Way Home.
Will Free Guy win an Oscar?
Oh no, you'll be so sad. You'll be so angry about it. I think June, because I think June is the most, the one that looks like it's got the least. Well, I haven't seen No Time to Die though, or Free Guy, but I think June is the one that looks the least with visual effects, but the most natural looking. So I think it might be June.
I have a feeling June's going to do really well in a lot of the technical categories because it's doing such a kind of unique
Yeah.
thing. But part of me wonders whether Spider-Man's going to get it because it's the only thing Spider-Man's nominated for, and people really wanted that to
win something.
Yeah, but the visual effects aren't actually that good in Spider-Man.
No, exactly. I think it's going to be June. I'm putting June.
Yeah, I'm gonna go June as well
because it's a spectacular film.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Part of me feels like it might go to Spider-Man, but if it does go to Spider-Man, it's the wrong choice because it's sort of. I heard somebody describe it as looking like it was filmed in a cupboard, and it kind of does look a little bit like that. Even though I love it, it's an amazing film, but it's an amazing film for reasons that aren't the visual effects. Next up, we've got
Shang-Chi has got a good. I think Shang-Chi's pretty also could be.
It's doing a good job, but it's also, I don't know, it's just doing the Marvel thing. Like Dune is creating a Next we've got sound.
Sound. We have
Best
Belfast,
sound.
June, No Time to Die, Power of the Dog, West Side Story, oh no, West Side Story. Sound as sound engineering, isn't it? Like how the sound sounded.
Yeah,
not
like
music.
the soundscape, not the score. No.
June. Absolutely.
Yeah. I think it has to be June.
Yeah, because it definitely like when they do the internal voices and it makes you vibrate in your soul. Yeah, it has to be June. Yeah, no.
That's true. Actually, that sort of throat singing thing they do is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it has to be Dune. Right, next up we've got a category that maybe neither of us have seen any of the films that are nominated.
Okay, so the next one is short film live action. Choo, The Dress, The Long Goodbye, On My Mind, Please Hold.
Yeah. So what I've got is I've got a list of synopses, so I'll read those out and then we can see what we think from that.
Yeah.
So Choo, Take and Run is by Maria Brendel and Nadine Lushinger. Here's the synopsis. 19-year-old Sezim wants to fulfill her dream of studying in the Kyrgyz capital, but is kidnapped and forced to marry a stranger. Torn between her desire for freedom and the constraints of traditional Kyrgyz culture, she desperately seeks a way out.
Okay.
That's Choo, Take and Run. The Dress is by Tadeusz Liziak and Maciej Slazicki. Sorry if I'm mangling those names. Lust, sexuality and physicality are the deepest desires that Virgin Julia suppresses while working at a wayside motel. That is, until she crosses paths with a handsome truck driver who soon becomes the object of her fantasies.
Okay.
That sounds...
I think between the two I will go for Choo, but let's hear the third
Next
one.
up, we've got The Long Goodbye by Anil Carrier and Riz Ahmed. In a dystopian near future, a British South Asian family must deal with the feelings toward them by their adopted country when they are rounded up by a gang of gun-wielding thugs.
Okay.
Then we've got On My Mind by Martin Strange Hansen and Kim Magnuson. Henrik wants to sing a song for his wife. It has to be today, it has to be now. It's a question of life, death and karaoke.
Okay.
And then lastly, Please Hold by KD Davila and Levin Menexe. In the near future, a young working-class Latino is wrongfully arrested by a police drone. Realising he has no means of recourse in the fully automated and privatised justice system, he attempts to reach a human who can set things right.
I'm going to go for Choo, Take and Run.
Interesting. I'm going to go for The Long Goodbye based on my appreciation for Riz Ahmed and his work.
Okay. Yeah.
Up next, we've got another short film category, but this time it is animated.
I haven't seen any of these either.
No, never have I. So
Affairs of the Art, Bestia, Box Ballet, Robin. I actually read Robin Hood. I was like, what? But no, it's Robin. The Windshield Wiper.
Yeah, so let me give you some synopses. So, Burrow is by Madeline Sharafian and Michael Cap Barrett. A young rabbit embarks on a journey to dig the burrow of her dreams. Despite not having a clue what she's doing, rather than reveal her imperfections to her neighbours, she digs herself deeper and deeper into trouble. After hitting bedrock bottom, she learns that there is no shame in asking for help.
Aww, nice.
Is that's not on? Poop.
What?
Ignore that. Don't. That's old news. That was last year's nomination. Where's the blooming? This website is a pain. What is going on?
I thought it was weird. It's like it's called Affairs of the Art, and you're talking about Black Rabbit.
Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Ignore what I just did.
I don't know what you've just done.
Where's the animated short film? There, here we go. Okay, right. Okay. Affairs of the Art by Joanna Quinn and Les Mills. Well, Welsh housewife Beryl muses on her lifelong passion for art, as well as her family's eccentric yet endearing obsessions with everything from screwthreads to pet taxidermy.
Okay.
Then we got Bestia by Hugo Covarrubias and Tevo Diaz. The life of a secret police agent during the military dictatorship in Chile in 1975 is explored as her relationships with her dog, body, fears and frustrations reveal a grim fracture of her mind and of the country. And we've got Box Ballet by Anton Diakov. Delicate ballerina Olya meets Evgeny, a rough boxer who personifies strong but silent. With very different lives and worldviews, will they be brave enough to embrace their feelings? Can two fragile souls hang on to each other despite the world's cruelty? And then we've got Robin by Dan Ajari and Mikey Please, although I'll also mention that Robin is an Aardman animation film. When her egg rolls into a rubbish dump, Robin is raised by a loving family of burglar mice. As she grows up, however, her differences become more apparent. Robin sets off on the heist to end all heists to prove to her family that she can be a really good mouse, but ends up discovering who she really is.
Oh.
And then The Windshield Wiper by Alberto Mielgo and Leo Sanchez. Inside a cafe, after lunch and while smoking a whole pack of cigarettes, a middle-aged man asks himself and the audience an ambitious question: what is love?
Oh. Yeah. I'm going to go for Robin.
Yeah, so am I, because it's a Aardman film and I like Aardman. So.
And I'm just looking at pictures and it looks really lovely. So yeah, Robin.
Yeah, fair play. Right, up next we've got production design. Who are our nominees, Alex?
We have June, Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, The Tragedy of Macbeth, West Side Story. So production design, what does that mean?
That's like the world, the sets.
So I think it probably is going to be between Nightmare Alley and West Side Story.
If Nightmare Alley wins an Oscar, I'll jump off a hill, but also...
No, but production design, like, if you look at Nightmare Alley, it looks incredible. Like, the set design look amazing. And West Side Story as well, like, they did... I really appreciated what he did. It looked like a theatre at some point, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think it'd be between those two.
Having seen Nightmare Alley, the best thing about it is its production design, for sure.
Yeah. So,
but I'm not picking it. I think it's Dune again.
Yeah.
They've created an entire world.
I guess so. I'm gonna go for West Side Story for production design.
I'm going all in on Dune. Which is either going to pay off or mean that I lose by a lot. But we'll see. Next up, we've got original song.
Oh,
always a strange category. Who are our nominees?
Oh, we have "Be Alive" by King Richard. King Richard. Dons Oru by King Richard.
By King Richard I from the 1600s.
Dos Oruguitas, Encanto. Down to Joy, Belfast. No Time to Die. Somehow You Do, 4 Good Days. I don't remember "Be Alive" in King Richard.
I think it might be just over the credits. It's like a Beyonce song, so it's a big deal on account of it.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Beyonce.
I remember now. I think probably Well, No Time to Die.
I think Billie Eilish is going to win an Oscar.
Yeah.
I think this
I
is
think
her
it's gonna be
world
No
and
Time to
we're
Die.
living in it at the moment. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I think if Disney had nominated We Don't Talk About Bruno instead of Dos... I don't even remember that song. I don't know which song that is. Dos Oruguitos.
It's when it's the song where she talks about when she met her husband. Abuela talks about when she met
Oh,
the
yeah,
husband.
that's not... See, this is a real case of Encanto having like such a long tail that Disney will have decided what song from it to nominate before We Don't Talk About Bruno kind of naturally became the big successful tune. It's interesting because I think actually at the ceremony there's going to be a live performance of We Don't Talk About Bruno, not Dos Oruguitos.
I do like Dos Oruguitos though.
I like the poppier numbers personally. So No Time to Die for both
No
of
Time
us
to
there.
Die. Yeah.
Okay. Then we've got an original score, and what are our nominees?
The nominees for original score are Don't Look Up, Dune, Encanto, Parallel Mothers, The Power of the Dog. I think it's going to be
Interesting
Encanto.
choices. Really? Interesting.
I don't know, because I think Lin-Manuel Miranda is just like...
That's true. Johnny Greenwood, though, often gets... Johnny Greenwood did the score for The Power of the Dog, from Radiohead.
Yes. But that was a good score, wasn't it? But has Johnny Greenwood not already won for a film score?
Yeah, he won for There Will Be Blood, but people win, multiple Oscars.
Yeah, people win more times, but I think... It's like I don't think Olivia Colman will win Best Actress again, because...
No, probably not. I'm going to go with Dune. Hans Zimmer turned down working with Christopher Nolan to do Dune because it was his lifelong passion, because he loves Dune so much, and I think that score
Okay,
is
I'm going to go for Dune as well. Yeah.
You don't have to.
I don't...
Fair enough.
Next one is makeup and hairstyling.
Yeah, what are our nominees here?
Oh, we have Coming to America, Cruella, Dune, The Eyes of Tammy Faye, House of Gucci. This is difficult.
Don't you mean House of Gucci?
House of Gucci.
Jared Leto, Paolo Gucci.
The Eyes of Tammy Gray has had a lot of kind of news around it, a lot of because of what they did to Jessica Chastain.
She's unrecognisable in that film. So is Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
I think
House
this might
of Gucci, I think only Jared Leto had a fat suit put on him.
Yeah, I mean, it's impressive. He doesn't look like Jared Leto, but also to what end, to what effect?
Coming to America, I don't think so. I think probably The Eyes of Tammy Faye.
Yeah, I think it's going to be The Eyes of Tammy Faye as well. And to be fair, like Jessica Chastain, it doesn't look like Jessica Chastain in that.
No.
Well, I've only seen the trailer, but it looks impressive.
I really want to see that film, actually.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that. I think it came and went in the cinema here really quickly.
And has Andrew Garfield stopped? Like, it feels like it's everywhere. Like, Tick, Tick, Boom, Boom, The Eyes of Tammy Faye. It was in Spider-Man. No,
I'm fine with it. I love Andrew Garfield, so it's all good.
Oh.
What's up next? International feature film. What are our nominees?
What? Drive My Car is nominated for international film, and...
Yeah, so was Parasite the year that Parasite won. It won both awards,
did
Parasite. Yeah.
Wow. So the nominees are Drive My Car, Japan, Flea, which I really want to watch, Denmark, The Hand of God, Italy, Lunana, A Yak in the Classroom in Bhutan, and The Worst Person in the World, Norway.
I think the fact that it's nominated in Best Picture means that Drive My Car is a walk for this category.
Because I was thinking now, I think if Drive My Car wins, then I'm going to put Power of the Dog as the Best Picture.
your call. But I think this is Drive My Car because
Drive My Car. Drive My Car or The Hand of God. Drive My Car. Yeah.
I do really want to see The Worst Person in the World, though. It does look very good. But I think Drive My Car is going to win that. Okay, film editing. Who are our nominees?
Don't Look Up, June, King Richard, Power the Dog, Tick Tick, Boom Boom.
Why has Don't Look Up had so many nominations?
I have no idea.
It's fine. It's like a fun film.
I like the film, but I didn't realise it was going to be nominated for so many things.
No, it's weird. It's strange.
I think Power the Dog.
Guess what I think?
June.
Yeah, I'm going to go June. I'm going to pop a little June
I'm going to go
on
for
my
Power the Dog.
predictions here. What I'm currently predicting Dune is going to win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Oscars.
And me 1, 2, 3.
But often that happens. Often a film will sweep the technical categories and not win any of the big ones. And I think that's going to be Dune's lookout this year on account of it not getting a Best Director nomination.
I can't believe it didn't. Crazy.
I know, it's
Crazy.
ridiculous. The guy is like the best director alive today. So come on, give him an Oscar, you idiots. Okay, up next we've got another one that's going to be a bit tricky. We've got documentary short subject. Let me just find the.
I've seen none of them.
There we go. So who are our nominees?
The nominees are Audible, Lead Me Home, The Queen of Basketball, 3 Songs for Benazir, and When We Were Bullies.
And I'm going to give you a little synopsis for each of those. So Audible by Matt Ogans and Jeff McLean. Shaken by a friend's suicide, a deaf high school football player copes with family and relationships while venturing into the hearing world after graduation. Lead Me Home by Pedro Cos and John Schenk. Film synopsis. The film personalises the issues faced by the 500,000 Americans coping with homelessness every night, challenging attitudes and showing the scale, scope and diversity of unsheltered America. And we've got The Queen of Basketball by Ben Proudfoot. Lucy Harris is one of the greatest living women's basketball players. She won 3 national trophies, scored the first basket in women's Olympic basketball at the 1976 Olympics, and was drafted to the NBA. Yet how many basketball fans have heard of her today? And we've got 3 Songs for Benazir by Elizabeth Merzey and Gurliston Merzey. Shaista, a young man who is newly married to Benazir and living in a camp for displaced persons in Kabul, struggles to balance his dreams of being the first from his tribe to join the Afghan National Army with the responsibilities of starting a family. And then we've got When We Were Bullies by Jay Rosenblatt. A mind-boggling coincidence leads a filmmaker to track down his 5th grade class and 5th grade teacher to examine their memory of and complicity in a bullying incident 50 years ago.
Oh. Maybe Lead Me Home.
I would most want to watch When We Were Bullies, because that sounds really interesting and the kind of thing I like watching. But I think I'm going to go with The Queen of Basketball, because I think I've heard people saying that that's quite a likely candidate. Gosh, I've got something stuck in my bloody mouth. Okay, what's our next category?
Next category is documentary feature. And the nominees are Ascension, Attica, Flea, Summer of Soul, or When the Revolution Could Not Be Televised, and Writing with Fire.
Wow.
I've only seen one of them, which is The Summer of Soul. And I love the documentary, so I'm going to put that one because it's great.
Yeah, I'm going to put that as well because I think it's going to win.
Yeah.
And I do want to watch it. I should watch it.
It
sounds important and brilliant. Okay, we're getting into some of the well, they're all important, but some of the big ones now. We've got directing. Who are our nominees? We have
Kenneth Branagh for Belfast, Ryusuke Hamaguchi, Drive My Car, Paul Thomas Anderson, Licorice Pizza, Jane Campion, The Power of the Dog, Steven Spielberg, West Side Story.
It's interesting. I could sort of see maybe Power of the Dog getting Best Film and then maybe Kenneth Branagh getting Best Director. But it also feels like it might be one of those years where the same film wins for both and it's Jane Campion for The Power of the Dog.
Yeah, I'm going to put Jane Campion Power of the Dog.
Yeah,
because
so am I.
I've seen all of these films, and I'm putting what I think should win, not what, because I think it's amazing.
I think she's got a good chance. I mean, but I also Spielberg seems like one of those people who it almost feels like people don't bother to give him Oscars now because he's sort of Steven Spielberg. He's beyond Oscars, if that makes sense.
But I don't think I'm sorry, but I don't think West Side Story should be nominated for anything.
That's fair. That's your opinion.
I think probably Maria, who plays Maria. I think probably Rachel Zegler is like the only thing that could. Is she nominated for anything?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think that's the only nomination they should have had because she's amazing in it.
I strongly disagree, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Right, Power of the Dog. Right, costume design.
Cruella. So the nominees are Cruella, Cyrano, June, Nightmare Alley, West Side Story.
Yeah, the only one of these I've not seen is Cyrano, which is a pity actually because I'd really like to watch it. The National wrote the soundtrack to that film, but I haven't seen it. I think it's going to be Cruella. I think the costumes are crazy good in that film. And I can't just pick June for everything.
No. I'm going to go for West Side Story.
Interesting, but you said it shouldn't have any nominations.
Yeah, but I think it's going to win that.
Fair play. Okay, interesting. Right, up next we've got cinematography. What are our nominees?
June, Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, The Tragedy of Macbeth, West Side Story.
Yeah.
I haven't seen The Tragedy of Macbeth, but it looks cinematographically beautiful.
It does. I haven't seen it, but the trailer makes it look absolutely gorgeous.
So...
But The Power of the Dog, West Side, not Nightmare Alley. That's just rubbish, stupid film. This is another one where I'm just going to go with my favourite little sweet boy and pick Dune.
It is pretty beautiful. I'm going to go Dune as well.
It's so good. It looks so good. Yeah. And when they're on. Go on.
I can't believe Denis Villeneuve is not nominated for directing. That's crazy.
It's a disgrace, is what it is.
It is a disgrace. Like, I'm sorry, but they put Steven Spielberg and they haven't put Denis Villeneuve. No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But Dune looks gorgeous, and like from when they're on Caladan at the start to when they get to Arrakis, just the way it's shot, it all just absolutely blew my mind. So yeah. All right, animated feature film. What are our nominees?
We have Encanto, Flea, Luca, The Mitchell versus the Machine, and Raya and the Last Dragon. Encanto.
I really, really love The Mitchells versus the Machines.
Yeah.
But, and I don't know if it's just recency bias. No, I don't think it is. I think it has to be Encanto. I think Encanto is one of my favourite animated films of all time.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting into now the big five. Best actress in a supporting role. Where are our nominees?
Jessie Buckley, The Lost Daughter, Ariana DeBose. Oh, she was amazing, actually, in West Side Story. West Side Story, Judi Dench, Belfast, Kirsten Dunst, The Power of the Dog, Ingenue Ellis, King Richard.
I think Ariana DeBose is the best thing in West Side Story, and I think she will win this category. I think she's amazing in that film.
Just a second. Yeah, I forgot about her. She is amazing. Sorry. Because I'm so in love with Rachel Zegler that I forgot that she's incredible too. I think it's gonna go to Ariana DeBose, West Side Story, because she was good. Sorry, I forgot about her. She's also amazing.
Yeah, fair play. Right, up next, actress in a leading role. What do you think?
Jessica Chastain, The Eyes of Tammy Faye, Olivia Colman, The Lost Daughter, Penelope Cruz, Parallel Mothers, Nicole Kidman being The Ricardos, Kristen Stewart Spencer. Where is Zendaya for Dune?
That is pretty good role. This is a strange list of performances.
I am sorry, but I cannot believe that Rachel Zegler's not in it. I'm sorry. She was so good.
Yeah, but she's no Nicole Kidman in Being the Ricardos, a film that is not nominated for any of the other awards we've talked about so far.
I think...
Same's true of Spencer,
I think at this point, probably Jessica Chastain.
Yeah, my heart is with Kristen Stewart because I really like Kristen Stewart, and she does put in a good performance in Spencer, but it feels like the eyes of the world are pointing towards the eyes of Tammy Faye. It feels like that's going to be Jessica Chastain, and I really, she's a great actress. She deserves an Oscar. I haven't seen the movie, but I'm sure she's very good in it. In fact, I haven't. The only one of these films I've seen is Spencer, but I'm going to go with Jessica Chastain.
Yeah.
Okay, up next we've got actor in a supporting role. What are our nominees?
We have Kieran. I love Irish names. Kieran Hinds, Belfast. Troy Kotsu, Coda. Jesse Plemons, Power the Dog. J.K. Simmons, Being the Ricardos. Cody Smith McPhee, The Power of the Dog.
What do you think about Jesse Plemons having a nomination for this?
I think it was really good in Power of the Dog because I feel as a character, at the beginning of the film, he looks a bit he's a non-entity, and by the end, he has changed a lot. So I think it's a good nomination. I think he should be nominated.
That's fair.
But I think it's either between Troy Kotsur, Coda, and Cody Smith McPhee, The Power of the Dog for me.
I'm going to go, I haven't seen it, but I've heard that his performance is really, really good. So I'm going to go with Troy Kotsur from Coda.
He's really good. I cried. There's a scene in Coda, and it was the end. I was like, he's in it. And I was like crying so much because he's so expressive. I'm going to go for, Troy Kotsu, Coda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, we come to actor in a leading role.
I've been thinking about this all week.
What are the nominees?
The nominees are Javier Bardem, Being the Ricardos, Benedict Cumberbatch, The Power of the Dog, Andrew Garfield, Tick, Tick, Boom, Boom, Will Smith, King Richard, Denzel Washington, The Tragedy of Macbeth.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be Benedict Cumberbatch, The Power of the Dog.
Interesting. I think it's a three-way race between him, Andrew Garfield, and Will Smith. And I wish I'd seen
Tick, Tick, Boom, Boom?
No, I haven't seen it. I
Tick,
really
Tick,
want
Boom.
to watch it. It's called Tick Tick Boom.
Tick, Tick, Boom, Boom.
I think there's a
I'm
good...
gonna go.
Yeah.
What? Just a second. How about Timothée Chalamet in Dune? I can't believe he hasn't got a nomination because he was spectacular in that film.
He is very good in
like
that
that scene with the box,
yeah,
where he's screaming.
Yeah,
I'm not happy about that.
No, and especially with, I mean, I've not seen it, but that Being the Ricardos movie is meant to be pretty poor, and I don't quite understand why him and Nicole Kidman have both had nominations, and J.K. Simmons. It's strange. Anyway, it's Will Smith for King Richard.
Benedict Cumberbatch, The Power of the Dog.
Ooh, interesting. I really want Will Smith to win an Oscar. It's past time.
True, you're right. That'd be nice. Because like Denzel has already won. Has Benedict ever won an Oscar?
No, I don't think he has.
But he's so good in that film. Best Picture.
What are our nominees?
Belfast, Coda, Don't Look Up, Drive My Car, June. You just put whilst I was reading, George just put Nightmare Alley. June, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley, The Power of the Dog, West Side Story. Poo Poo Alley. You're stupid. I think The Power of the Dog.
Yeah, I think that there's been enough.
No, June is not going to win Best Film.
No, I think June's going to win all those technical ones, but I think Power of the Dog's going to take the
Yeah.
the big award. It might not, because quite often the film that
think-
everyone centres their obsession around ends up not winning. But I don't
I
see
think
any
it's
of
between
these.
Power
on.
the Dog and Coda.
Interesting.
Because
What about
I think
Drive
Coda
My
is
Car?
a classic. Do you think can they give them to us two Oscars?
Parasite won both awards.
So Parasite won both. I don't know. I think it's between Power the Dog and Coda. Because I think Coda is right in the Oscars alley, you know? Kind of like feel good, comedy. I don't know. But no, Power the Dog.
Yeah, it's not going to be West Side Story. It's not going to be... I mean, I really hope it's not Nightmare Alley.
Can you imagine? Poo Poo Alley.
I can't believe it's even there. Licorice Pizza, King Richard's good, but I think it's about the acting with that one. I mean, I'd give it to Dune, but I don't think Dune's going to take it. I haven't seen Drive My Car. It's again similar to Nightmare Alley. I can't see. I hope Don't Look Up doesn't win it, and I liked Don't Look Up.
Yeah, I don't understand how it's nominated.
Belfast. Is Belfast going to walk away without any awards? Because that's surprising to me.
Like, it's a good film, but it's...
I don't know. I liked it.
I'm sorry, but if I had to choose between a director, Kenneth Branagh, and Denis Villeneuve, Denis Villeneuve any time. Like, I mean, for the films they've between Belfast and Dune.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
And I just don't understand how it has not been nominated.
It is sheer madness. It's ridiculous. It's annoying.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it. So we've both gone with The Power of the Dog for our Best Picture pick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you ready for? Should we run through the nominations one more time and give our choice for each category?
Absolutely, but I need to go and get my charger.
Okay.
And pee.
Okay. You do that. Go for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. Hi.
Cool. Okay.
Cool.
So.
Licorice poo. What? What have you done?
Lovin, what are you doing about?
Why have you changed it? You're so stupid. Licorice poo. Poon. No time to poo.
You're being very vulgar, Alex, on our
The
podcast.
poos of Tommy Faye. Oh, you're stupid. No time to poo. Oh, God. Okay.
Okay.
Drive
Are you still there?
my poo. George, are you there? Okay.
We're going to go through the categories and say what our choices are for each category, right?
Yeah. 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 Are you ready?
I am ready. So what's the first category?
So the first category is writing original screenplay.
Okay. Writing original screenplay, I've gone with Licorice Pizza.
So we had a quick toilet break, and George just decided to change all my titles, and so he changed it to Licorice Poo.
That's horrible, Alex. Why are you making up
You
lies?
changed it. You put Licorice Poo, Pooda, Pood, Poon, a la catch you take and Poo, Poobin and Poobin, Poo side story. No time to poo. The poos of Tommy Faye. Drive my poo. So basically you didn't change the power of the poo.
No, I wouldn't do that. It's too obvious.
So how can it be too obvious? So I put licorice pizza too.
Okay, good. Licorice Pizza. Next up,
Yeah.
writing adapted screenplay. I went with The Power of the Dog by Jane Campion.
And I went Coda.
Coda, good. Next up, visual effects. I went with Dune.
Me too.
Dune. Sound, best sound. I went with Dune again.
Same.
Dune as well. Short film live action. I went with The Long Goodbye.
And I went with Choo, Take and Run.
Take and Run, well done. Short film animated. I went with Robin.
Me too, Robin.
Good. Production design. I went for Dune.
And I went actually for Poolside Story.
Okay, good. Music, best original song. I went with No Time to Die from No Time to Die by Billie Eilish.
Same. No Time to Die.
Good.
But on my list it says No Time to Poo.
I don't know why. I don't know why you've done that. Best original score. I went with Dune by Hans Zimmer.
Yeah, same. June.
Okay, good. Makeup and hairstyling. I went with The Eyes of Tammy Faye.
Me too. The Eyes of Tammy Faye.
Good. International feature film. I went with Drive My Car from Japan.
Yeah, Drive My Car, the same.
Good. Film editing. I went with Dune.
And I went Power of the Dog.
Power of the Dog. Documentary short subject. I went with The Queen of Basketball.
So George didn't change any of the titles for a while. But then the next one, he did change it. He put Summer of Pooh. Why is that funny? Oh, okay.
Okay. So, documentary short film. I went with The Queen of Basketball. You went with...
Lead Me Home.
Good. Documentary feature. I went with Summer of Soul or When the Revolution Could Not Be Televised.
And I went the same.
Best director. I went with Jane Campion, The Power of the Dog.
Same. Jane Campion, The Power of the Dog.
Good. Costume design. I went with Cruella.
And I went with West Side Story.
Good. Cinematography. I went for Dune.
Same, Dune.
Good. Animated feature film. I went with Encanto.
Yeah, Encanto.
Actress in supporting role. I know Ariana DeBose, West Side Story.
Yeah, they're only Bose, West Side Story, same.
Good. Actress in a leading role. I went with Jessica Chastain from The Eyes of Tammy Faye.
Yeah, same. Jessica Chastain, the Eyes of Tammy Faye.
Good. Actor in a supporting role. I went with Troy Kotzer from Coda.
Same.
Good. Actor in a leading role. I went with Will Smith, King Richard.
And I went with Benedict Cumberbatch, The Power of the Dog.
Good. And best picture overall. I went with The Power of the Dog.
You're so stupid, George. And I went with The Power of the Dog, but George has changed it to The Power of the Poo. It's so... The Poo of the Dog. Stop changing it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah?
The poo. Yeah.
Good. Okay.
How exciting. Are you going to watch the Oscars?
I guess as we've done this, maybe I should. Although it's always on at like 1 a.m, etc.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe I'll live tweet the Oscars from the Culture Bucket Twitter account. Wouldn't that be exciting?
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, everybody will be standing at the edge of their seats.
Oh yeah, they surely will. So there. That's been our Oscar prediction special. We will, I guess, check in after the Oscars happened to decide on a winner, see who was most accurate in their predictions, and that'll be fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Good stuff. Okay, And that's been episode 66 of Culture Bucket, the world's greatest podcast. Please join us next week for episode 67, where we're going to be trying something a little bit different and doing a sort of a top 5, but something we might do every year around this time. It's going to be like our top 5 favourite performances from the past year. And I guess we can say TV and film can be valid, or even like not even one particular performance, but an actor who's done particularly good work over the past year can be up for one of our lists. So that'll be next week. That'll be really exciting. And please send us your Oscar predictions. If you have any Oscar predictions, please send them in, and we can do a little listener sweepstakes to see who the best listener is at predicting the Oscars. Send them to our culturebucketpodcast@gmail.com address, or DM them us on Instagram, etc. And please follow us and speak to us and communicate with us and interact with us on social media. All of our links to social media can be found in the show notes for this and every episode, along with links to what we discuss in Culture Catch-Up and MyTube. And please go and rate and review us on all the podcast apps you can find for more, good continuing content, etc. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Love you. Bye.
Bye.